I never thought my life would take the turn it did. For 10 years, I believed I was doing everything right. I worked hard, long hours, sometimes even weekends, because I wanted to give Laura and our kids the best life I could. I wasn't perfect, but I poured everything I had into our home and our family. To me, being a good husband and father meant providing stability and comfort, making sure there was always food on the table, a roof over our heads, and a future for our children. I'll admit, I wasn't always around. Work demanded a lot from me, and I know I missed a few school plays and dinners here and there. But I thought Laura understood. She used to tell me how much she appreciated what I did, and how grateful she was. I held on to that. For the most part, our marriage felt solid. We had the usual ups and downs like any couple, but nothing I thought was unfixable. Our kids, they're my world. But looking back now, I realized the cracks had been forming for a while. At first, it was small things. Laura started staying out later with her friends, saying she needed time to herself, which I understood because of motherhood. Then there were the times she seemed distant, even when we were in the same room. I'd ask her if something was wrong, and she'd wave me off with a quick, "I'm just tired," or "It's nothing." The conversations grew shorter. Our laughter became less frequent. Sometimes, it felt like I was talking to a stranger instead of the woman I'd built a life with. I told myself it was just a phase, and that we'd get through it. After all, we'd been married for 10 years. We had history, a bond. Then one evening, she dropped the bomb. I was sitting at the dining table, going over some bills, when she walked in and said, "We need to talk." Her voice was calm, almost too calm. She sat down across from me, avoiding eye contact, and said she wanted a divorce. I just sat there stunned. Divorce? Where did this even come from? She told me she felt neglected, like I didn't care about her anymore. That I was so focused on work, I'd forgotten how to be a husband. Her words hit me like a punch to the gut. I'd worked so hard for us. I wanted to fight back, to defend myself, but the way she said it, cold, detached, like she'd already made up her mind, something felt off. I asked if there was someone else. She laughed. "This isn't about anyone else, Jamie," she said. "It's about us." When she told me her lawyer would be in touch, it was like she'd flipped a switch. There was no emotion in her voice, no sadness, no anger, just business. That's when I knew there was something she wasn't telling me. It didn't take days before I got the official notice. Laura had chosen Mr. John, one of the most high-profile divorce lawyers in the city. He had a reputation for being sharp, confident, and utterly ruthless. People joked that he didn't fight cases, he won wars. When I walked into our first meeting, I saw him sitting there, perfectly polished in a tailored suit, looking more like a CEO than a lawyer. His handshake was firm, his smile calculated. Laura sat next to him, her face calm but distant. She wouldn't meet my eyes. John wasted no time getting to the point. "Mr. Jamie, my client is seeking a divorce with a fair settlement. She's requesting a significant portion of your shared assets. This includes the house, financial accounts, and spousal support." He paused, tapping his pen against the table for effect. "This is about ensuring Laura can move forward after the divorce, comfortably and without struggle." Move forward? Those words stung. After everything I had done, working long hours, building a life for her and the kids, sacrificing my own needs for the family, this was how it ended. But I kept my expression neutral. No point in showing emotion in front of them. As John continued talking, I noticed something about him that didn't sit right. He wasn't just doing his job, he seemed personally invested. There was a subtle confidence that went beyond being good at his craft. His eyes flicked toward Laura occasionally, and she seemed oddly comfortable around him. I didn't let them see how much this hurt. I sat there, nodding occasionally, keeping my face calm. If Laura was expecting me to blow up or plead, she didn't get it. I knew better than to show my cards too early. "All right," I said evenly. "I'll need time to review this. You'll hear from me soon." John raised an eyebrow, clearly expecting more of a reaction. He leaned back in his chair, smirking as if he'd already won. I'd suggest not delaying too long. Laura is eager to finalize this quickly. I glanced at Laura then, my first real look at her since walking into the room. She was staring at the table, avoiding my gaze. There wasn't any regret in her expression, just detachment. Inside, I felt anger boiling, but I kept my voice steady. I'll take the time I need. Then I stood and walked out. That night, as I sat in my study with a cup of coffee, I made a decision. I wouldn't let my emotions control me. I would stay calm, stay smart, and find the truth, no matter what it took. The next day, I remember sitting across from my lawyer, trying to make sense of it all. Laura wanted a divorce. She said I'd been neglecting her, that I wasn't the husband she needed anymore. But what hit me harder was the numbers she threw at me. She wanted everything. The house, a huge settlement, and even the majority of custody over our kids. It felt like she was trying to erase me from our lives entirely. My lawyer leaned back in his chair and said, "Jamie, we need to dig deeper," he said. "This demand, it doesn't add up. If Laura's pushing for this much, there might be more going on. Hire a private investigator. Let's find some dirt we can use to renegotiate." I hired the investigator, hoping he'd come back with nothing more than a minor issue, a mistake in the paperwork or something small I could use to push back on her demands. Instead, he gave me something I never expected. Laura wasn't just having an affair. She was having an affair with John, her divorce lawyer. They'd been seeing each other for months. The investigator gave me pictures. Laura and John at dinner, holding hands like they didn't have a care in the world. Videos of them meeting up at hotels. Insider evidence about their plans to divorce me, bleed me dry, and move in together once it was all over. I sat there, staring at the evidence, and I couldn't breathe. The woman I'd loved, the mother of my children, was plotting to destroy everything we had built together. But it didn't end there. The investigator also uncovered that Laura had been draining our accounts. Large sums of money were gone, transferred to accounts I didn't even know existed. She'd been using those funds to support her own life, and possibly even John's. All without a word to me. I couldn't believe it. I felt like a fool. All those long hours I worked, the sacrifices I made to provide for our family. She was using it to plan her escape. And here she was, accusing me of neglect. I'll be honest, I didn't know what to feel at first. Anger, betrayal, heartbreak, it all hit me at once. But I stopped myself. Acting out of anger wouldn't fix anything. I realized I needed to be smart. Laura thought she had the upper hand, but now I had something she didn't expect. I had the truth, and I was going to use it, not just to protect myself, but to make sure she faced the consequences of what she'd done. When Laura's lawyer, John, emailed me about the meeting, it was framed as a discussion to finalize the divorce amicably. That word made me laugh out loud. Here she was, the woman I'd spent 10 years building a life with, plotting to take me for everything I had. And they wanted to pretend this was some friendly chat. But I didn't argue. I agreed to the meeting because I knew something they didn't. I wasn't the same guy they thought they could steamroll. On the day of the meeting, I walked into that sterile conference room like a man walking into a battlefield. Laura was already there, seated at the long table, looking as polished as ever. Her perfectly styled hair, designer blazer, and expensive handbag screamed confidence, but I knew better. She barely glanced at me, just a quick flick of her eyes before looking at John, who was shuffling through papers like he was about to present a winning case in court. He didn't even stand when I walked in, just nodded as if to say, "Let's get this over with." I sat down across from them, placed my phone face down on the table, and leaned back in my chair. I didn't say a word. I let them make the first move. John started talking. His voice was calm, rehearsed. "Jamie, we're here to make this as smooth and fair as possible for both parties. Laura has been very reasonable in her expectations." I cut him off with a small smile. "Reasonable?" I asked, raising an eyebrow. John paused, glancing at Laura. Her confidence wavered for just a second, her fingers tightening around the pen she was holding. "Yes, John continued, clearing his throat. Given the circumstances, Laura's proposal is fair. She's asking for primary custody of the children, the house, and a reasonable financial settlement. I didn't respond right away. Instead, I reached into my bag, pulled out a small flash drive, and placed it on the table. I slid it across, letting it stop right in front of John. The room went quiet. John stared at it like it might explode. Laura's confident posture shifted. She was leaning forward now, her eyes darting between the flash drive and me. "What's this?" John asked, his voice quieter than before. "Evidence," I said simply. My tone was calm, but my words were sharp. "Everything you'll need to understand why this meeting isn't going to go the way you planned." For the first time, I saw a crack in John's polished lawyer facade. His hands hesitated as he reached for the drive, and his confident smile flickered, replaced by something closer to unease. "Play it," I said, leaning back in my chair again. "Let's see how reasonable you both feel after this." I could see the shift in the room. Laura and John, her lawyer, her lover, exchanged a quick, nervous glance before John grabbed it and plugged it into his laptop. He tried to act calm, but the stiffness in his jaw gave him away. Laura leaned in close, feeling unease. It didn't take long. The photos appeared first grainy, but clear enough to show Laura and John together at a hotel, looking far too comfortable with each other for a professional relationship. Then came the bank records, transfer after transfer from our joint account, funneled to hidden accounts. Finally, the video, a grainy clip of Laura sneaking into a hotel room with John. I watched their faces carefully as the truth spilled out on the screen. John's hand froze on the mouse. His face turned pale, and for the first time since I'd walked in, the confident, cutthroat lawyer looked rattled. His hands were shaking so badly that he almost knocked over his coffee. This is out of context," he stammered, but the panic in his voice betrayed him. He knew he was caught. I leaned back in my chair, keeping my voice steady. "You can call it whatever you want, John, but I think the court will see it differently. And the press? They'll have a field day with this. A top lawyer sleeping with his client, helping her steal from her husband? It's not a great look." Laura's eyes widened. She looked at me like she didn't recognize the man sitting across from her. How did you even get this?" she whispered. Her voice wasn't angry. It was scared. She'd always underestimated me, and now she was realizing just how much she'd miscalculated. "I've been paying attention," I said simply. "While you were busy sneaking around, I was gathering evidence. And here's the deal. If this goes public, you lose custody of the kids. You'll walk out of court with nothing, Laura. Nothing. And John? His career is over." For a moment, the only sound in the room was the hum of the laptop. Laura sat back. The fresh start she thought she'd have with John was slipping through her fingers, and there was nothing she could do to stop it. "I'm willing to make this simple," I continued, my voice calm but firm. "Here's my offer. I get full custody of the kids. You get a small financial settlement, enough to move on, but not the windfall you were hoping for. And I make no guarantees about keeping this private if you try to fight me." John opened his mouth like he was going to argue, but then he closed it again. He glanced at Laura, and I could see the fear in his eyes. He wasn't worried about her anymore. He was worried about himself. Laura tried to say something, her voice shaking. "Jamie, please. The kids." "The kids," I cut her off, "deserve stability. They deserve better than this mess you've dragged them into." I leaned forward, my eyes locking on hers. "You made your choices, Laura. Now it's time to live with them." On the main day, I sat across from Laura in my office, her once confident posture now deflated. She looked at me, her eyes red. For a moment, there was silence. Then she spoke. "Jamie," she said softly, her voice cracking, "I'm sorry. I didn't mean for things to go this far." I stayed silent, staring at her, waiting for her to continue. Sorry? What exactly was she sorry for? The lies? The affair? The betrayal? Or was she sorry she got caught? I made a mistake, she continued, her voice trembling. I was unhappy, Jamie. I felt like you didn't see me anymore. I wasn't trying to hurt you. That last part made me laugh. Not trying to hurt me, I said, finally breaking my silence. You lied to me, you stole from me, and you planned to tear apart our family for your own selfish reasons. Tell me, Laura, what part of that wasn't meant to hurt me? She flinched as if my words had slapped her. But I didn't stop. You think this is about feeling unseen? I worked every single day to give you and the kids a life you could be proud of. I trusted you, and you used that trust to rip everything apart. Tears started streaming down her face now, but they didn't move me. Maybe once I would have felt something, guilt, sadness, maybe even pity. But now, all I felt was empty. I thought we could fix this, she said, her voice almost a whisper. That maybe we could find a way to move on. I shook my head. Move on? Laura, this isn't a fight we can come back from. You didn't just cross a line, you burned the whole bridge down. There's nothing left to move on from. Across the table, John, her lawyer and secret lover, sat pale and quiet, avoiding my gaze. He had kept silent through most of this, but I wasn't about to let him off the hook. What about you, John? I said, turning my attention to him. You don't have much to say now, do you? All that confidence from before is gone. Funny how that happens when the tables turn. Look, Jamie, he said, finally speaking, his voice tight. I think we can all agree that dragging this into court wouldn't benefit anyone. Let's try to resolve this amicably. Amicably? I repeated. Now you want to talk about being amicable? You were ready to take everything from me, John. You and Laura planned this whole thing, didn't you? Divorce me, bleed me dry, and walk away like it was nothing. But now that I've got the upper hand, you want to play nice? He didn't respond, and I leaned back, letting the silence hang in the air for a moment. Here's the deal, I said finally. You're going to take my terms, every single one of them. Laura gets a fraction of the settlement she wanted, and I get full custody of the kids. If either of you tries to fight this, I'll make sure every piece of evidence I have goes public. Trust me, John, your reputation won't survive it. John turned to Laura, desperation in his eyes. Laura, he said, his voice low and urgent, just take the deal, please. She hesitated, her eyes darting between him and me. But, there's no but, he interrupted. If he goes public with this, I'm done. My career is over. Is that what you want? Her shoulders slumped, and that was the moment she realized she'd lost. Not just the case, but everything. The life she thought she could build with John, the money, the kids, it was all gone. And there was nothing she could do to get it back. Fine, she said finally, her voice barely audible. I'll sign the papers. She turned to me, tears still streaming down her face. Jamie, I didn't mean for it to end like this. I stood up, gathering my things. Maybe you didn't, I said, my voice steady. But you made your choices, Laura. Now, you have to live with them. As I prepared to close for the day, I felt no satisfaction, no sense of victory, just relief. It was over. The fight, the lies, the betrayal, all of it was behind me now. And for the first time in a long time, I felt like I could finally start over. So let me ask you something. What would you do if you were in my shoes? Imagine dedicating 10 years of your life to someone, building a family, sacrificing sleep, working extra hours just to make sure they never lacked anything. And then one day, they turn around and tell you, I want a divorce. Not only that, but you find out they've been lying to you, stealing from you, and planning to take everything you've worked for. What would you do? Would you fight back, or would you let it slide and walk away? Now, I want to hear your thoughts. If you were me, how would you have handled it? Let me know in the comments. And if this story hits home or makes you think, do me a favor. Hit that like button and share this video with someone who might need to hear it. I guarantee this isn't the end of the story. There's a lot more to come, and trust me, it only gets crazier from here.